I mean, like, it's kind of just like, I mean, it is just filler until, we meet that time. Although, I don't know, like, is it really necessary to have, like, something like with the angels? Like, I get, like, if we see, like, the aftermath or the result of our previous actions, like with, reforming the Yakuza guy and seeing that guy that was threatened saying, hey, you guys did a good job, and like, I'll change too, and all that. Like, that stuff I'm alright with. But then, with some of the scenes like we saw with like Yuzu, and like this one, some of the other scenes are pretty neat though. Filler. Cause like, I mean, it kind of makes, or I kind of understand that like, you can't have the same amount of developments as you did throughout the original story, because it takes place over 7 days. You have several different time periods throughout the whole week as opposed to just 1 day to get out all of this development. Your support recruit tag actually yields a 5 stars Istina. Wait, why are you slain about it? Or did you already have Istina? Oh wait, single supporter. Oh, supporter tag. Oh, nice. Wait, I'm guessing by that expression, you already have her. But, I was kind of surprised when I was doing my, recruitments that, I actually got, and even after Prominix from, oh. Like, when I was just spamming through my recruits earlier, I'm surprised that I got, Platinum through my, Sniper plus DPS tag. Which, man, my Sniper roster is so stacked right now, it's actually not funny anymore, because after this event, I really need more casters. Like, I could really take any caster that I can get that's not Amiya or Nightmare. It's, I really wish I had something better to work with. Okay, let's just speak through Amane since we already read this before.
Oh, good. Then what else? But, oh, huh? He was each time and on the Okuni, that was, wow, after. Yeah, the last, we must, yeah.
Okay. COB? Or sitting way back since you started playing? Wow. Okay, is there anything new with Yuzu?
Hey, I've been wondering, even if we take a sinner's comp...
No, that's the same one. You know, I'm still paranoid about that, I'm still paranoid about that bug earlier. You know, this really makes me wish that I can just dismantle like a huge part of my desk or setup here. Cause like it's not like a flat desk or something. It's like I forgot what they call it exactly, but it has like its own shelves and all that fancy stuff with it. So I can't easily like pull this out and like try to clean up what's behind here. But kind of one of the annoying things about my room, it's not easy to move some of the stuff in here. You know, one of these days I should really just clean up my whole room. I mean, what would make this better is if I just make it a habit to clean up a little bit every single day, so it won't be as daunting to clean. I'll start doing that tomorrow, though. Yeah, have I played the original Devil Survivor? Yep. Basically 100%ed the original Devil Survivor. Kinda. I think there might have been some demons I didn't make, but basically I went through every single route. I fought the secret boss, and yeah, I tried replaying it on stream before I got Overclocked working on Citra. I was playing the original yet again on the regular DS emulator on DS EMU, was it? Yeah. But then, yeah, I accidentally loaded a save state and wiped out my New Game Plus file just as I finished a route. A big mistake, a very dumb one, and I regretted it for a long time. But here we are now, finally checking out the 8th day for Amane's route. I haven't checked out any of the other ones yet. We're still technically in New Game. So I can't wait to see what all the other routes are, because like this one, or Amane's route is pretty interesting so far.
Hey! Naoya! Doubt finding him will be as simple as this. Hey, do you have any ideas where he might be?
Somewhere deserted? I wouldn't take Naoya to be the one to blend in.
Oh, I get it. So that's why you decided to come here.
Doesn't this feel awkward to you guys? We just had an all-out fight with him yesterday. Just consider that part of the trial we've been given. Running won't solve anything. Hey! Over there! Isn't that— Wait,
whoops.
he's surrounded by demon tamers.
I accidentally hit my chair and accidentally pressed the button.
He is without a comp at the moment, which places him in danger.
He'll be fine. Let's hurry.
Yeah!
You're the one that made these comps, right? Well, look, we need your help.
Nonsense. You're wasting your time. I have no reason to help you.
What? Looks like you need us to teach you how things work around here.
Huh? What the hell are you looking at?
Step away from Naoya.
What? You...
What did you say? We ain't gonna show mercy just 'cause you're kids.
Boss, this could be trouble. These are those Messiah guys.
Who always waits great you so much? Nah, don't worry, we've been suffering too.
The Messiah? We'll let you go this time.
I'm glad you're safe. It's been a while.
Spare me. You and I have no business. Or have you come with a favor-baited hook?
Kind of.
I see. Let me guess. You found yourselves in a fix.
We have come here to speak to you as Cain.
What's the difference? Naoya is just the name given to this incarnation. I don't change. Not in my past life, not in this one, and not in the next.
Why not try to change?
You'd never understand. How could you? As beloved by God as you are.
Does fit her character though? I mean, kinda, but it's kind of like way overtuned. Like, if she wasn't like as like super loud and yelly, but still like have the same like vibrancy or energy, or like, well, not the same, but like similar, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's like too like it just feels like she just keeps yelling in her mic all the time instead of like actually like trying to match the character more. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, like, she has some cool moments when she's not yelling, but when she does it so often, and it's so annoying that I just skip her lines, because I just can't stand it. Let's see, never understand. Well, no, I can't say I try to understand. I want to understand someone who suffered for all of eternity, basically. Of course I couldn't understand that.
Right you are. The paths we walked were very different ones. If you had chosen to war with God as I wanted, maybe you'd understand a fraction of it. But you chose to walk at his side instead. What business could we possibly have now?
I want to help you.
Help me? You want to help me? Interesting. Then help me. Well, I'm waiting.
Like, we're gonna give him a big old hug.
You can't understand the humiliation he put me through, the pain that worsens daily.
Uses voice is pretty great. Heard her voice in other VNs. Huh.
The only one in this world who can understand
Oh shit!
me is
The bug's
myself.
back. I got the bug. I'm free. I finally got both the bugs. Don't. If there's a third, I'm gonna lose my shit. There's probably a third one somewhere. Oh my god, the bug actually came back. The fool. Oh wait, where's my controller? Ah, here it is. I'm being so. Okay.
Leave me. If you continue to pester me, I'll kill you.
It's unfortunate, but he won't speak with us now even if we pursue him. But that aside, were you able to glean anything from his words?
Rejecting change. You want sympathy? God, I kind of got like preoccupied with the whole bug thing earlier. What was it like? I couldn't understand him since I was so favored by God. Sympathy? Or he seems like the person that would say, "I don't want your sympathy" or something like that. Rejecting change?
Yeah, you're right. It did seem that way.
But I don't think that's all. He kept saying you'd never understand. Isn't that his way of saying he wants to be understood?
I think we should find out first what made his heart so warped.
Let's look into Kane.
Then let us search for someone knowledgeable about Kane.
That sounds like a plan. It's not easy to truly understand someone, but if we don't understand Kane, we'll never find a way to save him from damnation. Let's keep at it. We can't give up.
Oh, Honda? Awesome. Oh. The diet building too. Man. There's a lot of good choices here. You know what? We haven't talked to Honda for like the entire week. Like we always like brush him aside since he's like completely irrelevant towards getting any of the other endings. Unless you just really want to hear his backstory, which is pretty tragic, actually. But in terms of me wanting to like play to have access to all the endings to choose from, although that'll be kind of pointless once we do New Game Plus and then we proceed with focusing on certain individual endings. We don't need to keep unlocking the choice of every other ending at that point, so we can actually look at Honda's stuff for once.
Oh, isn't that Honda over there?
He looks really depressed. Then again, we did stop him from escaping from here.
But that's not our fault! We couldn't let him take a comp out! He would have wrecked stuff with Susanoo's power!
Midori! Could you stop yelling? You... Oh my god, you don't need to...
Yeah, that's true, but...
Hey, that reminds me. Honda knows a lot about demons and mythology, right? Remember when Kaido called Pazuzu? He knew right away what kind of demon it was.
Oh, wait, you're right. You might know about Kane.
Yeah, let's try asking him. Hi, Mr. Honda.
Oh, hello. I don't have a comp anymore. I have no intention to fight.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. We're not looking for a fight. We came to ask you something.
Sorry. I'm not in the mood.
Actually... Explain the situation, Honda.
So Okuninushi has a condition for abdicating. That's why you want to save Kane?
Yes, but even apart from that, we'll never get a chance like this. If we can save Naoya and the country will be spared, we figured we had to do it. Please, tell us what you know. It doesn't matter how insignificant it seems.
Please help us.
Come on, Mr. Honda. It's to save everyone, not just us.
All right. I'll tell you what I know.
Thank you.
But I have to say, I'm no divinity scholar. I can only give you my personal opinion.
That's quite all right. Please, go on.
Kane is the human race's oldest murderer. Did you know that much?
We know the basics of the story anyway.
All right. Then I'll skip that part. If you want to know more about it, find a specialist and ask him. Suffice to say, Kane killed his younger brother Abel and was made an outcast. What I find most interesting about the story of Kane is why God, who's supposed to be all-knowing, let Kane commit murder. If you think of it that way, Kane's not the villain of the story. He's the victim.
How's that?
It's not just Kane. Lots of stories exist to relate a lesson to the listener. For example, you might warn someone not to touch hot water, or they'll get burned. The person you warn will obviously be careful when handling hot water, but the consequences aren't fully conveyed, so they might not use all due cautions. However, if they see someone get burned, they'd understand the danger then. In other words, if you want to teach a lesson, it's most effective to set an example. I believe Kane was chosen by God as that example.
It's horrible.
That's my theory anyway. In truth, many such sacrifices appear throughout the Bible. A single human is used to set an example for many. That's the real character of God. I'm done telling you what I know. Could you leave me alone now?
We really appreciate it. Are you all right, Mr. Honda? You don't seem well.
My son died.
Oh.
What?
I made contact with the outside. That's when I found out he didn't make it.
Oh. My condolences to you.
So don't bother me anymore. Just leave me be. Leave me alone.
Thank you.
Mr. Honda, thank you for everything.
I feel sorry for Honda.
Wow, that's awful.
Poor Honda. He wanted to see his son so bad, too.
I just noticed that we never really hear, Mari say anything. Although I guess they, like, assume that, actually, I don't, wait. We have heard her talk during, oh, yeah. Oh, Kaido? You wanna bust out now? Let's see. So... Wait, I'm sure with Izuna, it'll still be the same thing at the tunnel. We just didn't commit to that before I reloaded. Let's talk to Azuma.
Ah, Lady Amane. And the Messiah and his followers as well.
Huh? It's that Azuma guy. You're still in the Shomonkai? I assumed you'd be long gone.
After my defeat at your hands, Lady Amane spoke to me when I was at my lowest. Now I am merely a believer, dedicating his life to the Shomonkai. No shame in that.
Wow, you've really changed. It's like you're a totally different person now. This is fortuitously timed. Why not ask Azuma about Kane?
Of course. If I can be of assistance, then by all means, ask away. What do you need?
Did I spec MC as magic user Fizz? Magic. Like I know that with the addition of some of the new skills in Overclock, that physical builds are a lot more useful now. But the flexibility of having magic really outweighs using physical stuff. Although there's one downside is that I can't use multi-strike because Atsuro also isn't exactly the best multi-strike user too. So like maybe in New Game Plus or something, I'll probably consider turning my MC because I'm pretty sure all the party members levels reset. I think I'll end up turning his build into like an agility strength one, just max them both out and just like multi-strike everything to death pretty much. I would be very excited to try that out because multi-strike is like hecking broken. Like the Honda fight that we had earlier and all the previous grind battles that I've done, I just make all the Garudas I can. I just get extra Matamas if I can spare the money. Add more agility to them, and then just see them like wreck face and they just sweep everything. They have Fizz Repel, so even if they go against like a Repel demon, like what's more important is that they just kill the leader in the middle and maybe the extra demon on the right side. It's the greatest thing ever. Multi-strike is so overtuned. I love it. But yeah, for the most part, or for this playthrough, yeah, we just did magic because, it's pretty tough to, what was it? Because like physical builds are kind of tough to pull off because of how limiting it can be. Because not until this point do we actually get access to like what was it, piercing hit, whenever we'll get almighty hit to kind of bypass Fizz Repel, because Fizz Repel becomes more and more commonplace that it just ends up being or physical builds tend to end up being useless unless you can use Fizz Repel to kind of work around that. But then like you kind of limit your options being shoehorned into some of those passives as you go into fights. So that's why I kind of like magic more. Breaks anything without Fizz Repel? Uh-huh. I know that for sure. Yeah, like, if I were to... I think, Actually, wait, the only other physical user we would have would be Kaido, right? If we went down his path. Cause Naoya's magic. Yeah, Kaido and Atsuro are like the only two like physical users in the entire game that we can use in our party, right? Because, you know, Yuzu, magic, Mari, magic, Amane, magic, Keisuke, Midori. Who else am I missing, or is that about it? Oh yeah, technically we could have also had Black Frost as our party member, but for some reason he only shows up if you go down the ending path with Kaido and Naoya. Which is kind of funny when you think about it. Like, he's a demon that's been convinced to fight for love and justice, and yet he only shows up when you go down the route of taking over the world as the King of Bell with Naoya's route. I think he also comes up if you do Atsuro's route too. But I think he doesn't show up in Yuzu's or Jin's route. I think he doesn't show up there if I remember correctly. Oh, yeah, Jin, I forgot about him. Because I only did Jin's route once. I think Actually, knowing how Kaido would be spec'd out, he'd be spec'd for like Deathbound, I think, because he has more vitality. I think Jin would be the multi-strike guy, right? I think he'd be more, or at least from what I can recall, I think he's more spec'd for agility. At least compared to the other physical users. So maybe he'd be the multi-strike guy if I went down the Jin route. It also makes me wonder though, how will the other day 8s play out? Especially with Jin's route. Cause like cause his route is a path to normalcy. Like just remove the demons and then just sweep everything under the rug basically and go like, yep, this is the world as it should be. Like demons, nah, never happen. So that makes me wonder like, what the heck is it going on with the day 8? Like, do the demons like make a resurgence like they have been? Like, or do we? Although that also makes me wonder. I kind of, oh god, I kind of hope that the rest of the routes, barring Yuzu's given what it is, I hope they don't just devolve into trying to fight what's his name? His name's pretty hard to pronounce and remember. The one god that just put his ordeal on us again. Yeah, I hope the rest of the routes don't end up being completely the same like that. Like maybe like the approach or context might change if it is the same. Cause like there's us taking control away from Japan and the world, I guess, because we're the Messiah. But then with Naya and us being the King of Bel as the Demon Overlord, then he'd have like another problem with that too. So I guess like the routes would be kind of the same. Although what happens in between is completely different. But like the overall like arc though, like the direction. Although that also makes me wonder about the heck will go on with Atsuro's Day 8. Doesn't Black Frost show up in any route as long as you go through enough Midori routes? No. I've checked this as I've 100%ed the original Devil Survivor. The Midori events are only there just to have the opportunity to recruit Black Frost should you go down these specific ending paths. I assume it's just that case because of what happens as you go down other people's routes, since certain other people might not appreciate, well, your choices. Because oops, sorry. Because you know, let's say if we went with Naoya and Kaido, I'm pretty sure a good amount of everyone else wouldn't exactly be okay with taking over the world and fighting God. So Black Frost seems to be just there to kind of fill in the missing holes in your party, pretty much. Because otherwise, he just doesn't show up because you have like a lot of other members to work with. Although I kind of find that sad because it'd be pretty funny if we had Black Frost in every single route, even like the one where you go and use his route and you try to break through the lockdown. Imagine trying to break through the lockdown and you just see Black Frost like doing whatever he likes once he gets out. Alright then. Let's see. Explain it, Atsura. A way to save Kane.
We have to find some means of salvation for Kane.
You explained the situation to Azuma.
I see. I understand your predicament. I will tell you what I know about Kane.
Thank you.
Adam, the first human that God created, had a number of sons. One of these was Cain, who was Abel's older brother. Cain made his way in the world by cultivating the land and farming crops, while Abel made himself a shepherd. Does this make sense so far?
That sounds pretty normal. How'd that lead to murder? Did they not get along?
No, none of the scriptures mention anything like that.
Then what would have made him kill his brother?
I was just coming to that tragic incident. One day, God ordered Cain and Abel to prepare offerings to him. Cain offered the crop that he cultivated, and Abel offered his firstborn lamb.
I see. Cain cultivated the land, so he offered crops. And Abel was a shepherd, so he offered a lamb. But that led to murder?
Wait, you always find it funny you can make Midori leave your party on day 5 and she joins Kaido? Wait. Wait. I did not know this. Wait. So, is that what happens if you keep skipping out on Midori's events, like, after you save her, like, during that one battle, but then don't talk to her again as she's hiding from the other Demon Tamers? Does she actually, like, come to resent Demon Tamers and join Kaido or something? Wait. If that's the case, I never knew that because I always try to save her. Because I never bothered looking into, I was never that curious enough to see what would happen. Is that really the case? Wait, what do you mean really? You're the one telling me.
Yes. With both offerings laid out before him, the Lord only found joy in Abel's.
Oh wait, it's a consequence of dialogue choices on Keisuke's wife Kaido. Wait, a consequence of dialogue choices on Keisuke's wife. Huh. You mean like she joins Kaido after you force Keisuke's death or something? Or wait, what's the chain of events going on there? I'm kind of lost in what's going on.
Feeling this was unreasonable, Cain became angry, which was his motive to kill Abel. This is the truth behind the world's first murder.
Poor Cain. Poor Abel.
You understand Cain's anger, but you mustn't forget Abel, who was the crime's victim. But the world's first murder was not the true sin. God knew, of course, that Cain had killed Abel, but he asked Cain, "Where is your brother?" Cain answered by saying, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?"
Oh. He doesn't know his sin?
There had never been a murder before, so he may not have known he had done wrong.
Ah.
In the end, the earth spoke of Cain's deeds and exposed the murder. And so God cursed Cain with eternity and placed vengeance sevenfold to protect him.
Vengeance sevenfold?
Whoever tries to kill Cain will receive vengeance sevenfold. So saith the Lord.
So wait, if you remember correctly, she leaves the party if you go stop Keisuke instead of saving Mari and agree with Keisuke's vigilantism? Wait. Instead of saving Mari... Really? Huh. I never thought to explore down that route. Huh. Cause in RPGs like this, I always do everything I can to make sure I get everyone recruited. I don't like people leaving my party.
Once started, the cycle of revenge never ends. He must have meant to forestall it. Cain was thus given safety, yet in return, he was forced to face his sin for eternity.
He was then driven from his idyllic life to wander the earth forever.
Cursed to remember one's sin for eternity. It could be called God's ordeal for Cain.
It's not a punishment?
God is all-knowing. Of course he has the power to see into the future. It's possible that was why he yearned for Cain to face his sin rather than punish him. Cain was a farmer. When the lamb was accepted, he should not have been angered. And despite his anger, he should not have murdered his brother. And even when the sin had been committed, he should not have hidden his misdeed.
You let Mari and Keisuke die in your first playthrough? I don't, let me try to remember. I don't remember what happened on my first playthrough. Actually, oh no, wait, I couldn't really say on my first playthrough because, I think when I originally played, like, this is like during high school and stuff, I let, or well, not let, but accidentally let Keisuke die, and I think oh yeah, because I saved Miss Mari without Kaido, or without redirecting Kaido, so that led to Keisuke dying. But then I think sometime after, I think I might have put the game down for a while and then just restarted it, and then replayed the game, like knowing what to do to save everyone. So I never really like finished the first playthrough with the mistake I had originally. It was one of your first choices matter kind of game. Ah.
I believe that those were a series of ordeals for Cain, to grasp what he was meant to learn from them. That is what Cain faces to this day.
I get that God gave Cain a series of ordeals from what you just told us, but doesn't that mean Abel getting killed was part of those ordeals? I doubt God would have overlooked the possibility that Abel might be killed.
Yes, God is all-knowing, so he must have foreseen it.
Then that's like Abel was left to die. Why did God do such a thing?
It is not given to mere humans to know his ways. But if you still yearn for an answer, you must consider God's ultimate intentions. The Book of Job may be instructive here.
Book of Job?
But Book of Job?
Unfortunately, that is all I can tell you. Please look after yourself, Messiah.
God's ultimate intentions, huh?
So Cain's punishment will never end until he figures it out.
Figures out what?
Oh yeah, you're right. I wonder what it is God wants him to realize.
We have to decipher what God wants? How the hell are we supposed to know that?
Hey, I noticed something about the story. I don't think God did forsake Cain.
Huh. Well, now that you mention it, it does seem that way. If that's the case, could we make Naoya see that? It might change his mind. By the way, that Book of Job Azuma mentioned, what's that story about?
I want to know too.
Very well. Then please allow me to tell you what I know.
Oh boy. Amane the walking encyclopedia.
That'd be great, thanks.
It began with something Satan said when he challenged God.
Satan said when he challenged God.
Job, your favorite of men, is pious, but is his piety honest? Upon hearing this, God permitted Satan to test Job's righteousness. He was given leave to inflict all manner of cruelty on Job, provided his life was spared. And so Satan destroyed Job's property and children and covered his body with boils.
What? No way! Isn't that like a fate worse than death?
Exactly. Job was in such pain that everyone was sure he would choose death. But suicide would be a betrayal of God, and Job was too pious to take his life. 3 of Job's friends came to see him in this condition and said this to him: "Your disease is a punishment for going against God. Admit it and seek his forgiveness." But Job knew that he was not at fault and rebuffed his friends' advice. "Then what is that disease?" they asked. "It can only be a punishment from God." And Job said, "Thus I ask the Lord, why? Only tell me where I have wronged you."
His faith was incredible. Any normal person would have been cursing God's name.
Yes, but Job refused. All he thought was this: I recall doing nothing wrong. I want to know God's reason for my misfortunes. Seeing that Job's faith never faltered, Satan gave up his torments and left. Afterward, God removed Job's disease and gave him longevity for adhering to his faith. And that is the story told in the Book of Job.
Huh. Hey Harry, how you doing? Boy Job.
Job's faith was amazing, but wasn't it cruel to torture him to make a point? What Job displayed was true conviction. God believed Job's faith would never falter. When the ordeal was over, he tended to Job himself. God never forsakes his children. Do you recall the metaphor Honda mentioned?
About the hot water?
Indeed. He meant that when you see someone else suffer, you understand the danger. In other words, true faith can be taught by the example of Job's suffering. The book of Job teaches that however painful things are, faith will win in the end.
Huh? But what does that have to do with Cain?
His enlightenment.
To become enlightened. You're absolutely correct. I believe you're on the right track. If the first murderer faces his sin and gets beyond it, it would be an inspiration. Despite one's sins, one may repent and find enlightenment. Isn't that what God wants?
Then is that why Cain got hit with eternal punishment? Yikes! Now he's being tested like crazy!
That's a hell of a test. How heavy must his burden be?
His punishment is ongoing, which means his ordeal isn't over yet. But that aside, I'm more curious about Abel, the sacrifice for this ordeal. Cain was given the chance to reach enlightenment through eternal reincarnation.
Screenshots of Midori and Kaido. What do you mean by that? Like the dialogue they have together and stuff? I don't mind that.
But Abel died, robbed of his chance to ponder not only enlightenment, but everything.
You're right now that you mention it. We keep focusing on Cain's punishment, but...
Abel, God's child, do you resent being killed?
Still bear a grudge. I don't really think about it.
Well, since you don't really remember it, of course it wouldn't really hit you.
Abel's grudge over what happened to him cast his soul into the demon world.
Ah.
If you don't remember, maybe you've cast the hatred aside, letting you become Messiah.
Alright, let me see this. Oh god, these screenshots are like puny. Holy crap. Let's see, hey Kaido, are we really gonna do this? The only way to help people is a stupid idea in the first place. Why are you trying to... Why are you fighting against us? Huh. Oh, what the heck? There's her posing in battle and everything. Huh. That's so weird seeing Midori as a fightable, like, character. What the heck? Huh.
Okay, we understand about Abel now. But what do we do about Cain? About Naoya?
We are spreading God's order. In doing this, we have faced a number of sinners.
Those animated screenshots you took ages ago. Screenshot for ants.
Some were not saved, but there were a few we managed to bring salvation to. Why not try to identify similarities among those who were saved?
They faced their sins. Or...
Admitting one's sins is an important step, but is that all? They confessed to the sins they committed and tried to atone for them.
Should have picked the atone step.
A sin cannot be taken back, but by admitting them, one can atone for one's actions. Isn't that the path Cain should take to be saved from his eternal punishment?
It's hard for me to believe a man like him hasn't realized that already.
Maybe he doesn't want to admit it? It's like admitting he got played by God. No one likes being used, and Naoya? He'd like it even less than most people.
We needed to admit it.
Yes. No matter how difficult it may be, we need to do this.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sure he'll understand.
After a very lengthy boss battle.
All right, then let's do our best for our buddy Naoya.
Oh boy, there's some The fight with Kaido. I wonder what he's got to do with all this. Oh. I'm getting pretty tired though. I think I'll actually pick up on this tomorrow or something. Now, whether or not I want to switch games and or whatever, actually, it's probably for the best if I just stop here instead of switching games. Alright. Let me just go turn off Citra for now, so give me a second, guys.